May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
We call you Venkata or Sai?
Sir, it is Pavandatta, sir. So,
Pavandatta.
yes.
Briefly tell a bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir, my full name is Venkata Sai Pavandatta.
Something which perhaps is not here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm an MBBS graduate. So, graduated from Sri Venkateswara Medical College, Tirupati. So, I hail from the same Tirupati district of Andhra Pradesh. And sir, which is not there in the DAF. So, I started my religious tourism recently, visiting temples across southern India. And I also started playing badminton also, sir.
Okay. What motivated you to go take up religious tourism? Do you believe in religion a lot?
Yes, sir, a lot. Sir, nothing specific as such, sir. So it's been like of coincidence
Should
for
religion
me.
play a role in governance?
Sir, we should be.
It's a very classical political science thing, you know. State and the church.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am not aware of the political theories behind it, sir. But sometimes religion can also play an important role in governance, especially regarding with the tribal areas, so where we need to respect their culture. So I think in those areas, definitely religion will play an important role. But I think it's more a kind of secular governance, which is much more important, sir.
Division of Andhra Pradesh. What is your view on it? You know, because Andhra Pradesh always feels, and I think you belong to Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Always feels that it has been at the receiving end.
Yes.
Do you think it has been a fair division?
Sir, the philosophy behind the division of Andhra Pradesh was there has always been a historical neglect of Telangana region, sir. So that has been the reason for the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh. And now after bifurcation, we can also see that Telangana have been improved on various parameters, sir. So I think on those parameters,
You're
definitely.
For Telangana, you're speaking for Andhra Pradesh. You
Sir,
belong to.
Sir, I belong to Andhra Pradesh, sir. Sir, keeping these broad aspects in mind, sir, yes, I feel that even Andhra Pradesh is at the receiving end, definitely, because at the formation we have formed as a revenue deficit state as almost like 50,000 crores. Even now we are improving on a lot of parameters, sir. So even the recent controversy of division of assets and liabilities between the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh has also came into limelight. So I think we are working towards it, sir, based upon the revenue expenditure and also increasing progressively the capital expenditure. I think we cannot say it as we are on the receiving end, sir, because it's been the sub-regional aspiration of Telangana which has got into the bifurcation.
So it was Telangana which was the the force behind the division.
Yes, sir, yes.
But what has Telangana lost in the process? Has any Telangana lost anything in the process?
Sir, significant amount of population, I would say, sir.
No, they have also lost something more significant.
Sir, because the northern Andhra Pradesh has been the rice bowl of the country, sir. So I think these are the
Anything more significant? Something to do with logistics? Something to do with your tourism?
Yes, sir. Definitely, it is not. It is a landlocked state.
Absolutely.
So it has lost the.
And that can, in the future times to come, be a very crucial
Correct,
thing in
sir.
development.
Yes, sir.
I can see that you have done science awareness in government schools. What is your how do you assess the government schools, their quality, since you have been in close touch with the government schools?
Yes, sir.
And where do you think they miss out?
Sir, now the situation has been a lot improving, sir, especially because I visit to government schools of Andhra Pradesh. We have certain schemes like Nadu Nedu, infrastructure development schemes in schools. So that has been on a top notch, sir. Sir, but up to maybe before 5 to 6 years back, the infrastructure aspect, the school pupil ratio, which has not been followed. Sir, initially it has to be there is 1:25 according to Right to Education Act. But they were recruiting at 1:40 or 1:45. So these are certain challenges which I have observed, sir. But I think now the situation is very much improving, even on the all fronts, sir.
Okay, my last question to you, Pavandatta.
Sir.
If you are asked to assess Trump as a leader on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you place him as a leader?
Sir, I would place him at 5, sir, because of the following reasons. Sir, as a leader, he needs to lead the team. So he has led the country in a very good way. That is what my personal opinion is.
In a very good way.
Yes, sir.
What I mean, just now since you made the statement,
Yes.
I'm interested, I'm fascinated to know. No, seriously, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, but also the leader has to be empathetic, passionate, and also he needs to follow certain rules and regulations, sir. He cannot just like that violate the things. If he is respecting the democracy, he should also show that in the elections, sir.
But at the end of the day, he has the support of the people. If today he stands for election, he may give a very close fight.
Yes, sir. So I have given the rating of 5, sir, based upon these parameters.
5 is neither here nor there, but I'll leave it at that. Today, if you have to choose amongst the available leaders and leave aside India for a moment,
Sir.
as to who is the most effective leader, whom would you choose?
Sir, can I take a moment, sir?
There are hardly any, eh?
Sir, I feel the same, sir. Yes, sir.
You can't take the Chinese premier, eh?
Sorry, sir, I cannot take Chinese.
New Zealand one has resigned.
Yes, sir.
Japanese is like Lakshya.
Yes, sir. They are having respect.
The reason why I'm doing this analysis is that I'm coming to my punchline. The world suffers from a lack of statesmen.
Sir, absolutely, sir. Definitely, when compared to the past, so we are having, as you rightly mentioned, we are not having as effective as them, sir, in a broader picture of world. But, sir, they are doing according to their capabilities. So that is what in their interest. So I feel, yes, sir, we cannot say that as a blanket statement that we are losing, we are lacking the statesmen, but instead their capacity might have been decreased, sir.
I couldn't get you. I really couldn't get your last line. I couldn't really understand your last line, very seriously.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I would have finished my interview.
Sir, what I was telling was, sir, initially the efficiency of the statesman has got decreased, sir. That is what I wanted to.
Initially?
Sir, when compared to the initial leaders in the past, so the efficiency of the statesman got decreased now, sir. That is what I wanted to tell.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Huh?
Thank you, sir.
So how do you make a distinction between a leader and a statesman?
Did you notice the transition from leader to statesman?
Sir, I exactly did not get it, sir. But I thought in a very different sense.
So
how can you make what would be the distinction between a leader and a statesman?
Sir, exact differences I might not be able to point out.
No problem. So you have been working in the government schools.
Yes, sir.
One of the high courts did pass a judgment that the public servants should compulsorily put their children in the government schools. What is your take on that?
Sir, first is I don't have any idea of like which high court has given, sir. But as
No, the high court is not important. The idea is important.
sir, we cannot make it mandatory provisions, sir, because it is up to their own personal choices to make. But if it is voluntary done, it would be beneficial for the schools, I feel, sir. So, for example, if a civil servant is, or maybe if any officer is sending his or her children to the schools, so the infrastructure would be improved.
See, nothing works in our country voluntarily unless you have some kind of a stick behind.
Sir, again, it would be an authoritarian state if we use the stick policy, sir. Instead, we should give them carrots. That is what I feel, sir. So, giving them incentives and motivation and raising the awareness to send their children to the government
So,
schools.
in that case, we have got the government servant conduct rules.
Yes, sir.
Where it has been written as to how a government public servant should behave in the society, or what he should do or what he should not do. Is it an example of an authoritarian state? You should be given the liberty to do whatever you want to do.
Sir, we cannot say it as an authoritarian state, sir. For any institution to thrive, there should be some rules and regulations that needs to be there so that the success of the functioning of an institution can be upheld. So I feel, sir, in that aspect...
So for the government schools to improve, that should be the rule. What's the harm in that?
Sir, instead of going for a coercion method, we can give the incentives, sir. And also we can bring in other provisions as well.
What are fundamental duties under the Constitution of India?
Sir, there are several fundamental duties under 51A of the Indian Constitution, sir. In that, some of
How
them.
many are there?
Sir, as far as I can remember, they are 11 now,
11,
sir.
okay.
Yes.
Can you name few of them? 3 of them?
Yes, sir. Sir, respect for the national anthem, national flag, and second is respect for the dignity of the woman, and the third is regarding the increasing the scientific temper. Yes, sir.
So the government has spent so much on improving your scientific temper.
Yes, sir.
Don't you feel you owe a duty towards the country that you should be in the medical profession rather than going into the civil services?
Sir, I have given it a thought when I started preparation, sir, when I wanted to join the preparation into civil services. But sir, when I thought the same, for me it made sense that if I am going abroad and pursuing my career outside, so I think it would be a kind of wastage of resources when my country has spent so much of amount on me, sir. But I am staying in India and working for India. So I think, sir, this medical science as a graduation will help me as a basement, as a foundation to further improve my services, and also it can create a lot of impact, sir, on the ground level. So I feel, sir, I think that is the main motivation also for me to join.
Are you aware about some medical doctors who are also into politics?
Sir, exactly, I'm not very much aware, sir, of
Not
the
aware about
politicians.
Okay. You have written bowling all-rounder.
Yes, sir.
Why not all-rounder? What difference does it make if you call yourself to be a bowling all-rounder?
Sir, generally, all-rounders are meant to be a batting all-rounders, sir, generally, because when compared to my batting and bowling skills, my bowling skills excel batting skills, sir. So that is why I put it as the bowling all-rounder.
Since you have got your hobby, can you give me 3 examples of batting all-rounders and 3 examples of bowling all-rounders?
Sir, can I take a moment, sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir, the batting all-rounders in men, or sir, men and women also, sir. So in especially I can recollect right now, Yuvraj Singh has been one of the greatest all-rounders, batting all-rounders, and Ellis Perry of Australia, sir.
I have asked for 3.
Yes, sir. And sir, third could be sir Abdul Razak, sir, of Pakistan. He's also one of the.
What is his record that makes you to give such a statement?
Sir, I'm not very much aware of the exact record, sir, but I can remember his bowling and batting stance.
And what about bowling all-rounders?
Sir, in India, we have Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin, sir. And also in Australian cricket team, we also can find Cameron Green as.
Ma'am, please.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Pavandatta.
Ma'am.
So, Ali, you mentioned about religion.
Yes, ma'am.
How it is helping in administration, or how it is relevant to the administration? I would like to know.
Madam, can I take a moment, ma'am?
Please.
Madam, especially religion as such can have a direct impact, madam. Especially in the tribal areas and Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 areas, especially when we are trying to understand their cultures. So even though we are formulating, for example, madam, I have recently seen the case in a DC persuading the others in formulating and in adapting them to the modern medicine. So, but they were not able to accustom to that. So what he did was he instilled a god statue, their own god statue near the hospital. So what happened was entire people are coming there and also working. So I think that could be a direct impact, madam.
Okay.
And indirect impact, madam, my religion has taught me many things, like from brotherhood and having a lot of tolerance to others, a lot of sympathy, compassion, empathy, all these things. I think these also can be directly or indirectly helpful in the administration, ma'am.
Karl Marx once said that religion is the opium of the masses. How much do you relate to this statement?
Madam, he's such a great personality, so I cannot counter directly, madam. But in my opinion, as such, it cannot be told, madam, because it's his personal opinion and such a great personality as well.
No,
Madam,
that's okay. But how, if you counter, if you don't agree with it, so tell me what is your reasoning?
Madam, present days religion has been projected in such a sense that it is the opium of opioid of the masses, madam. But I think religion can also be useful for protecting the masses, or maybe instilling certain values to them. Maybe in the same of tolerance, madam. We have seen the recent case of cow vigilantism in Karnataka. But so these are the projecting areas, especially by the media or maybe the political personnel to their political gains, madam.
Is the cow vigilantism only in the media, or is it actually there?
It is actually there too, madam. But these have been projected, madam. But there are also other aspects to the religion, madam. For example, with your permission, madam, I was under the impression that all the alvars are of Brahmins. But recently I came to know that some of the alvars like Nammalvar is of another caste. So this has been ignored by the media or maybe the scriptures, madam, and also the lessons which we are reading, madam. So there is always, I feel that there is always a wrong notion of a religion which is there among the people. So I think if religion is used without violating the law, maybe according to their personal choices, I think religion can do wonders, madam.
What is your opinion about the Sabrimala, case? Do you think the state should have interfered in the religious matters?
Madam, without incurring disrespect to the Honorable Court's judgment, in my personal opinion, I don't agree with the judgment, madam.
Why?
Madam, I think they are applying the secular logics to the religious places, madam. I think so, and they will not tolerate if we are applying religious logics to secular places as well. And second is, madam, we have to follow the traditions which have been coming according to the Sthala Puran, which is there at the Sabarimala, and it is being conceived that it is his house, madam. So Sabarimala deity is deity, and the temple is his house, and we should respect them.
No, that's okay. But what is your opinion about then Devdasis? The tradition, you were talking about traditions. There have been certain century-old traditions which have been continuing till this age, but they were not very progressive. They were aggressive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. I think there should be always a test of proportionality in that, madam. Here there is
so
no...
why the test of proportionality was not in the Sabrimala case? Isn't it a public institution? Shouldn't the women not have right to enter the premises?
Madam, the entire issue was taken into a very wrong light, madam. What I feel is we are not discriminating women, but instead we are having a criteria that excludes women, madam. I think there is a lot of difference.
That's okay. Yeah. But I'm just asking you, even from the that point of view, the menstrual age women, if they are not supposed to enter, why? What is the logic behind it?
Madam, the said logic is that the Lord Ayyappa there has an ashrama named Naistika Brahmachari, madam. So even though when normally women take that Naistika Brahmachari, so she should also undergo the same process which the other man who is undergoing Naistika Brahmachari, madam. So I think that is the religious logic which has been given to the
No, that is okay, Pavandatta. That is a logic given to that. I'm just asking you, in this age of modern science and this progressive age, yes, are we still going to be held up by the age-old traditional things? That is my concern, and that is my question.
Madam, you are absolutely right in certain things, madam. But in the name of westernization, we are also thinking that such practices are progressive, madam. I think it can be otherwise also.
Okay, what is your opinion about the practice of sati then?
Madam, it was a very disastrous practice which I can consider, madam. And I am very much aware of the fact that no prominent scriptures or books of the Hinduism, they don't promote sati, madam. Instead, they have mentioned, even for example, Mahabharata, if you take, madam, when the Panduraju died, so his wife did not commit sati, madam. Instead, the Vidura, the son of them, have instead protected his mother not to commit sati, madam. So we are seeing that these are the wrong notions which are being projected, madam. I think the right notion should also be projected.
Okay, right. Okay, tell me, what is your opinion about mandatory rural posting for the doctors?
Madam, can I take a moment?
Please.
Madam, there are two things here, ma'am, which I can think of the issue. One is the mandatory rural posting immediately after MBBS, and mandatory rural posting after post-graduation or super specialty, madam. So immediately after MBBS can be a counterproductive option, madam, because now the relevance of MBBS is itself decreasing and everyone is going for the post-graduation, etc. I think that can be ruled out, madam. And then when coming to the mandatory posting for the postgraduates, and we cannot expect such a super specialty or specialized person to come and work in rural setup where there is no infrastructure. For example, madam, there is a laparoscopic surgeon, let us think, madam. So we cannot expect a laparoscopic surgeon.
So you are very diligently, you have kept both of the streams out of mandatory rule posting. You are giving your logics that for MBBS, since they have to prepare for PG, so you please keep them out. For MD students, you are saying that since there is no infrastructure, you please keep them out. That means your stand is that there should not be any mandatory rule posting,
Yes,
right?
Yes, madam. Instead, we can give incentives, madam. For example, Uttarakhand government has come with a scheme called U-Coat V-Pay scheme.
But I think last time we heard medical profession was considered to be a very noble profession, selfless service. What went to those ethos?
Yes, madam. That is absolutely correct, madam. Now we are having a deficiency of personnel in the rural setups, madam. But we cannot also ignore the other persons who are going and serving there, madam. I know, and I'm very unfortunately seeing this. The medical profession has been transformed from service-based approach to a business-based approach, madam. So I think we need to correct, madam. Instead of
how are you going to correct? You're not even supporting mandatory rule posting.
Madam, my perception was we should not do anything in a coercive way, madam. So instead, we can attract doctors. For example, national health policy, even WHO says that 5% of GDP should be the health spending. Now we are spending a meager 2.1%, madam. And we are saying that the rural setup is not there and doctors are not going.
Okay, my last question to you. Recently, which organization celebrated its 75 years of existence on April 7?
Madam, can I take a moment, madam?
Please.
Madam,
WHO celebrated it. And could you please tell me this last question, that success and failure of WHO over these years?
Madam, successes of WHO can be, it has eradicated many diseases like
Right.
Smallpox and etc. Madam.
I just want to know what other than smallpox.
Madam, even the maternal and the child tetanus, it has been eradicated, madam. And some diseases like recently polio, madam, it has also been eradicated. We are polio free now. India is a polio free country. So these are some of the successes, madam. Which
And what is a failure?
Madam, failures can be, recently we have seen during COVID crisis, WHO has come under a lot of criticism from USA, etc. And funding mechanism of WHO is also one of the failures which I can think right now, ma'am.
Any other disease outbreak where WHO other than corona failed miserably?
Madam, I can think of SARS-CoV-2 before. That is the only thing which I can think.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Pavandatta,
Sir.
so I really liked your views about modern science as well as
Sir.
having conservative mindset.
Thank you,
So
sir.
let's pursue that line of questioning.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is your view about this Ayush versus allopathy controversy?
So the controversy is all about the evidence-based medicine, sir. So I feel Ayush should be integrated with the modern medicine. So I think that debate will be a very good thing when a lot of clinical trials are being done in the Ayush, sir.
As on standing now, you don't believe that Ayush is an alternative medicine is good enough?
Sir, that should be backed by an evidence, sir, definitely. When it is done, it is a very good thing, sir. Sir, with your permission, can I explain a single scenario which I have faced so that Ayush credibility cannot be misjudged, sir?
Please.
Yes, sir, there is a disease condition called as psoriasis, sir. So in modern medicine, it is outrightly said that it cannot be cured permanently. But I have seen, as a doctor, I also have seen cases when I was working in dermatology department, the permanent curing of the cases of psoriasis with the help of homeopathy and Ayurveda, sir. So I think such kind of studies have not been done from the last 70 or 75 years of independence, sir. I think that has to be done to establish the credibility, sir.
Very good. Now, if the allopathic doctors don't agree to it, and despite there is an empirical evidence which is suggested, so tell me, why is it necessary that we only go for evidence, empirical evidences, clinical trials? Why not we just promote it? If you are being given a chance to work in the Ayush ministry,
Yes, sir.
what steps will you take to popularize this alternative medicine, and give me the importance of this for India?
Sir, one is the existing indigenous knowledge that we have, sir. So we are having a lot of nature-driven medicine, even in the naturopathy, that has been curing. And there are also a lot of evidences of yoga, which has been tried and curing many diseases now, sir. So as we are celebrating the International Yoga Day, so that can be one of the greatest steps, even in my district, that I can take, sir. And second is popularizing them with the help of many markets, for example, tribal markets, tribal hearts, etc., which they are having.
Why are you going back to tribals only? Why we are like most of India doesn't live in tribal areas now. We are a progressively more urbanized country.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, in some of the parts of urban India also, we have seen some of the stores of Ayush, sir, for example. Even though now we are also improving the standards of millets. Up to the last 5 to 10 years, we haven't seen much of millets, sir. But millets have been
How millets is related to Ayush?
So millets always comes under naturopathy, sir. Even in naturopathy, we give millets-based medicine as well, and we also ask them to eat millets a lot when compared to rice and wheat. So I think these can be important steps that can be.
That's very nice. Coming from MBBS doctor.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
moving on next, Mr. Pavandatta, you mentioned that you have developed hobby of badminton.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, when it comes to international level sporting competitions, be like Olympics or Commonwealth Games, why is it so that our female counterparts are always performing better and getting medals as compared to the males in the badminton?
Sir, we are very fortunate that our female members are doing very well in the international sphere, sir. It's a very good thing to do. And sir, when coming to these males and female controversy here, we cannot
It's not a
outright.
controversy. It's a statement of fact. I want you to explain why is it so.
Sir, sorry, sir. Sir, regarding that, might be it's a game of chance, sir. We also have Kidambi Srikanth, and we also usually had sir, I'm not exactly remembering his name, but he was also performing very well in the badminton. So I think, sir, it's a game of chance again. They might be losing in the quarterfinals or maybe the semi-finals or finals, sir. So I think we cannot outrightly reject their skills, but instead games are always a game of chance and skill, sir, again.
Okay. Now coming to again and again, you have mentioned game of chance versus game of skill. What is this controversy, game of chance versus game of skill? It has been in news recently.
Sir, regarding these betting and also apps like Dream 11, etc. in cricket, so they have been perceived as a game of chance versus the game of the skill, sir.
What is the court judgment about it? There's a judgment also.
Sir, I am not very much aware of
Okay,
that.
but there's a law also.
Sir, even that I am not very aware of, sir. I'll go and read about it.
Okay. My last question to you is regarding the significance of recent visit of King of Bhutan in India.
Sir.
Could you please elaborate? What was the context and why suddenly there was a royal visit to India?
Sir, the context was decreasing the tensions around the Doklam Plateau, sir, the common border between China, Bhutan, and India. So
India doesn't have a border in Doklam.
Sir, that is where we had the standoff.
We had the standoff, but India doesn't share the border with Doklam.
Sir, I think I might go and read about the facts exactly, sir. I might not be able to comment on them then.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.